Why does bad guy have 11 key... Oh, I need to pause this game. What is happening here right now? I feel like I've entered the Twilight Zone. What reality is this? I hit the wrong button, everyone. My bad. Welcome back, everyone. We got viewer games tonight. We're getting a late start because I was doing... I'm not exaggerating. This is the third stream of the day. Well, third recording. If you haven't checked it out yet, I did get a preview of the upcoming balance patch, which honestly may be live by the time this goes up on YouTube. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. Shout out to the devs for that. Also, shout out to the devs because I am part of the content affiliate program. That means the Phobies team does in fact give me coffee for producing Phobies content like these viewer games, which we're going to get into right now. So what's good, chat? What is good? I got to pull up the list. Just been a very busy day. Very busy, especially for a holiday weekend here in the U.S. Hope everybody's staying safe. All right, so we're going to jump in. We have a few repeats. We have some returning players. We have some new players. We got some excitement in the viewer game list. Let's see what we got. First up is Killer Frost. Frosty always makes the Speedolas run. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm not sure that's a thing. But we're going to explore said thing and see. 10 Matip 10. 10. I don't understand what your name means, but welcome. Welcome. We're here on Vile Vortis 11. One of my favorite maps. I do really like this map. I always really enjoyed it. We haven't seen it in a while. Frosty does make a lot of things run. I'm going to fix my camera. Hold, please. Slide me over. You can see bad guy's name. Billy. That guy's not going to do what he does right now for much longer. This is my favorite map. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely up there. Welcome back, Fortuta. Welcome back. There's Speedola number 1. This is a great map for Frosty. Like, it is, like, it's all just diagonals. Billy equals phobia of money. So, I know this is, I didn't get into this in my video, but there is a debate to be had about how good do paid for phobies need to be? Paid for being like the monthly ones where it's like, yeah, you just buy this one. And what is the policy surrounding nerfing them, changing them, whatever. And obviously we would all agree that the best case scenario would be they release them and there's no problems at all and everybody's happy. You know, like it's not overpowered, it's not underpowered, it's healthy, it's fun, it's engaging, and it gets everybody excited. Is it me or the stream look better? I haven't made any changes, so I'll take your word on it. But thank you. Thank you for noticing. Like the game looks higher quality? I don't think they did anything. Little big brain action. Maybe? I don't know. I haven't noticed. Then again, it could be one of those things that, like, you look at something enough and you don't notice the incremental changes, and then, like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, it changed. But it's like when you go to visit relatives you haven't seen in a while, and they're like, oh, my God, you're so big. It's like, well, yes, obviously you grow, but they also haven't seen you in however many years, whereas your parents, for example, they see you all the time, so they don't necessarily notice that you grew a few inches. Also looks more fluid. Well, I'm glad it looks better. So Frosty is now on the board. It is shooing away the Speedolas. I will say, I mean, I don't want to rehash my whole video, but I am very pleased with the potential. Oh, there's another phobia that ain't going to be doing what it's doing for much longer. The only thing that I didn't comment on that is disappointing to me is, wait, did the random toy not work? I'm going to be annoyed if that didn't work. I do have to update that and put some new pictures up. The thing that I do like the quality of life improvements, but I think there's a lot of other things that need to go in order to improve Phobies and really get things in there. And it is mostly selfish because, like, I want to play Phobies, but I have literally no desire to do ladder games at all. I don't know what that means, Matt. Read the balance patches from 1 to 10. I'll give it an 8. I wanted more buffs and some extra nerfs to Unicorn, some for Frosty. So I don't want to do too many things at once. I do think Frosty is going to need to get dealt with. There's also a counter Frosty here. You didn't put that in the notes, Killer Frost. What is going on here? How do you forget that there's a Frosty and a Puff? I think it's a very good patch. I would put it at a 9, and the reason for that is that they had direct involvement. And everybody knows, I forget who just quit recently, and they're like, they explicitly messaged me, and they're like, you need to be less elitist, because they've told, I forget who it was, they told me that before. And I didn't say it, but I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to continue to be very elitist. And it's my opinion that no, not everybody has a good opinion on balance. It's your opinion, you're allowed to have that. And it may even be valid for the context you're talking about. But there's a lot of people who are shrieking and just like throwing things out there. It's one thing to say, oh, I don't like this. But when you suggest a solution that's just like actually insane, that's where I start to have an issue. What the devs did is they brought in 2 people who are invested in the game. Dudio, Bugtron, and Karst, you could disagree with them about what they're doing or the direction they're going, but you can't say that they don't care and that they haven't put a lot of thought into things. So at least there is community direction provided from trusted sources. Very what? I don't know what that... I missed that comment, so I don't know what that was in response to for 2 time. But the bottom line is I do want community involvement, and I'm fine with like a community council that advises the devs on things. And ideally, the devs would give people access to test some of these things ahead of time to really put it through its paces, because I've said it on many occasions, most devs... You said someone to... Oh, elitist. I may have slurred it. Someone told me that I was very elitist, which is true when it comes to something like this. Like, I don't think you are required to be Sum of All Fears 3 to have an opinion on balance. But I'm telling you right now, I'm more likely to believe the balance opinion of someone in Sum of All Fears 3 than I am someone in Heebie-Jeebies. And I feel like that is not a hot take. How did neither Frosty freeze anything? What is happening? And the whole thing comes down to who are we balancing the game around? And it's possible to balance around multiple things, but you have to accept that if I'm balancing, if I make a phobie good for weaker players, it is possible that we make it bad for good players, or that it's still going to be useless, or it then becomes overpowered. Because skill is a component that you can't code for in the... Like, well, you can code for it, but you can't code it into the game. So a player able to utilize their phobies, their tools, more effectively than the other player should win. But how does that impact the numbers that literally show up on a phobie or its powers or whatever? And that is the eternal discussion for every game. Like, if a sniper rifle and a shooter is too powerful in the hands of a pro, but it's garbage in the hands of someone who just picked up the game, well, what's the answer? You tell them, get good. If you want to do this, put in the effort to learn how to do it properly. If it's a fighting game, it's the same thing. And if the answer to the problem, like between equally skilled opponents, I'm not sure... Okay, that's fine. Never mind. Like, if it's between equally skilled opponents and one player is losing, but equally skilled opponents at a higher skill level, the relationship flips with particular phobies? The answer is to improve your play skill. Most of the time. There are circumstances where that's not true, and that's why the opinions of people who are lower skill players do matter and influence games, and should be considered for balance. But that is only within the context of what are we balancing the game around. If we say that no, the Phobies is a game of skill, and it is important for you to improve, and it is your problem to improve, then the answer to the low-skill player who keeps getting their ass beat by Cerberus is you suck and you need to get better. Now, that may not sell a lot of booster packs, but would we rather the game be, well, you have a larger collection than I do, which this does happen. But, like, would we rather the game be that you have a larger collection than I do, so as a result you win? I know we didn't talk a lot about this game, but I'm still floored that Frosty didn't freeze anything until that last turn. GG. Alright, we got somebody new. I don't remember looking at this person's games before. Alright, somebody new to viewer games. Jenhens had to stomp dock. LOL. LOL. You're on night shift. Is this night shift or Megalo? This is night shift, right? Pretty sure this is night shift. I do like breaking the block here, freeing some stuff up. It's kind of a late corn. Huh. Interesting positioning here. That cat's not long for this world if bad guy wants. Now, actually, no, this is going to be kind of difficult to kill. I guess you could go Spud, and Spud might get it. Okay, hold on. What stress level is this? You know, if you're in double digits phobia levels, you're not, like, that low stress-wise. Why are you putting Slammerhead on the board? Why are you putting Finnegan on the board? What is going on? We're in for a weird one. I will say, when the devs gave me access to the dev environment to look at the balance patch, going through the tutorial and looking at, like, the intro to when you first load up the game for the very first time was super nostalgic. Like, it got me super excited to play Phobies again. It legitimately did. I didn't expect to feel that going. Well, I kind of did. I was like, yeah, I kind of miss this. I did not miss Lippy. I don't care about Lippy. But it was pretty cool to see all that stuff again. I kind of wish I used it in the video. I was going to use that for part of the intro. Could you look at some other changes, like more balance changes or season rewards? We could not see that, only balance changes. I did ask. I asked them for, like, hey, I can't see this. You know, like, what is it? Because obviously I can't see the seasonal reward changes until the season rolls over. And I would never have been able to play enough games to, like, trigger what it is. And I probably wouldn't even be able to tell, like, oh, you got a random uncommon. Well, is that better or worse than I would have done before? They would have to communicate that to me directly. And no, bottom line is I couldn't. Boop! Pretty good dock play. Kinda. I mean, it's whatever. I probably would have killed the, Actually, no, you had to kill it because there's a world... Like, I don't know if the Finnegan would have pushed him down or pushed him up. That's a... What is going on in this game? What is happening with this board state exactly? Dude, that is... What? Welcome to Phobies. Season just ended. These changes are not implemented yet. We don't know what day it's going in. The official announcement is just soon. TM. Val getting the disease. Given the disease. Like, I played literally 0 ladder games in the dev environment because it's like the devs aren't working on the weekend. And there were only so many creators. So, like, I just did practice games in order to get the data I needed. Big ol' fart explosion. Dead stabby? Not yet. What? I guess the math didn't work out to do a creepy devil. Unless we're trying to preserve creepy devil for some reason. Oh, the Hevo lives. I mean, there's so much pressure on the heart. Bad guy can't push out of this. See, Doc Holliday didn't need a nerf. I don't know what everybody's complaining about. I did say this in the video. I like the standardization of certain abilities. So, among the changes were Prometheus and Hazmat, which are tile-based phobies. And they now have 2 range. They don't have a warm-up. They have a 1-turn cooldown. Like, the abilities that are similar are grouped together. And Repeller and Attractor now are 2-2, warm-up and cooldown. Doc Holliday is 2-2, warm-up and cooldown. So if you have certain abilities, like a 3-range ability is a 2-2. Whereas a 2-range ability, say, like Miss Moffat, could be a 1-1. Something like that. Wish Grayling got buffed to 1 cooldown instead of 3. That feels like it'd be too much. That guy would be flying all over the place. That being said, he has to expose himself to do it, so I mean, I don't know that I hate it. GG. All right, game 2, we're back on night shift. Well, technically game 3, but game 2 with jenhens, whatever. Had to use my chance. Be more vague. What does that mean? What does that mean? I had to use my chance. That's like so vague. I'm taking the hat off. It's too hot. It's too hot, chat. Chat, I was thinking about like literally shaving my head. Like all the way down. I am going to trim my beard because I don't like how it looks right now. I'm going to cut it a little shorter. I'm a little worried about it. It takes a long time to grow the beard back. Remember when I found some videos because I was like researching stuff on my own channel, like find clips and things. And I found, well not found, but like I came across old videos of when like I had my long beard that was almost down to my waist. I missed that. That was when I just, like at the start of the pandemic, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't feel like shaving. I'm just not going to shave. The old Stabby man. Remember when everybody hate you, like, crapped on Stabby? Because it was like, this guy's the most broken thing ever. How could we possibly let this guy exist? He's ruining the game. I don't know that I disagree, but there are certainly larger problems. Here's one of the other things that people are not considering for balance because of the way the game functions, and I didn't talk about this in the video because I didn't want to... Like, I could have made that video 4 hours long, but I managed to keep it to like 40 minutes, which I don't know how I did. But... because of the leveling system, because of the way levels work, it is not possible to ever really balance the early part or any part of the game, because there's some phobies, like say your attractor is over leveled. Despite the nerf, that is going to be freaking oppressive, right? Because you can't dive it, and if you dive it, you die. But if you don't dive it, you die. The additional stats on a phobie impacts some dramatically more than others. It's one thing if, like, your opponent's fish tank is over-leveled. Like, who cares? It's another thing if their Doc Holiday is over-leveled, right? Because the counter for some phobies is supposed to be, oh, they're fragile, so dive them. Get on them, beat them up, and then you can punish your opponent for the tempo loss that they gave up. You can't do that with every phobie if they're over-leveled. I'm not clear on what bad guy is doing. Like, this is deranged levels of bizarre. Bad guy's just kind of hemorrhaging phobies. I mean, Tick is going to get... Never mind. Tick is going to die. Squished. Nobody likes ticks. Like, I've met people in my life who like bugs. Not just studying them. Like, some people, you know, people have tarantulas as pets and things like that. And I've seen other people with, you know, other exotic, like scorpions or, like, even more exotic insects and other things. Have you ever met anyone who likes ticks? Hold on. Why does bad guy have 11 key... Hold, I need to pause this game. What is happening here right now? I feel like I've entered the Twilight Zone. What reality is this? What is going on? I just noticed I was about to say, like, oh, well, our hero has 11 keys. And then I looked at it and I'm like, the bad guy has 11 keys. Why do they have 11 keys and they haven't played anything? They have slots. They can play phobies. What? That's a hell of a response. Honestly, I think you could have pushed up with a stabby. Maybe not. Maybe not. You do have the advantage here, because, like, bad guy has to do something. But, like, you can juice the Jin Sting here. Two of these should kill the bad sushi. These 3 hits from here to soften things up or kill something. Wait, what are we doing? Why are we doing that? Does the math not work out here? Do you need both? That can't be right. Unless you're sending the cat through to kill the Kerbloom, which I don't hate. Okay. Alright, I can accept that. I hope you backdoor with the cat. That would be really funny. That's a very dead jar. It's a very dead jar. You do need to kind of make a decision here because they've had triple panic point advantage for a bit. You do have a big life lead, so I'm not really worried, but especially since... What are they going to do here? Very weird game. Hard. Oh, chat. Had so many videos at it. No, don't go back and fight it. Just go for the heart. Actually, could you die with the panic point advantage? Their panic point advantage. Alright, yeah, whatever. This is fine. You would have been really hard-pressed to lose this game. This is just like insult to injury. That's funny. Got him. GG. All right. All right, last jenhens game. This is bad guy slept on the cupcake. What? Who's sleeping on cupcake? Who is... It's been a long time since we saw the turn 1 bank. The classic return of the turn 1 bank on Red Rum. Oh my god. Oh god. Turn 1 bank into Pescetti? Baby, what is you doing? I don't think that was necessary, moving the Contortio there. Because... Like, who cares? I don't think it would have mattered. I guess that's the only position, other than leaving it where it was, that... Oh, excuse me. Would avoid the immediate disease, like the free disease. Pescetti, I think, now is a bad strategy. I don't think Pescetti was ever good. The only thing Pescetti has going for it is that is a jump scare disease phobia. So you could catch somebody sleeping who just dives too hard, and then you go, "Ha, I gotcha. You've activated my trap card. Pescetti!" Ah! And you just, like, throw spaghetti at them. But, like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the disease mechanic. I mean, I am, because I like it, but I don't think the game designer in me thinks it's very healthy. Pun intended. Alright, we're on Operation Protect the Inoculus. Another phobia that will get nerfed soon. One that is a long time coming. Me either. I'm assuming that's in response to the disease thing. Uninteractive stuff is good. So, Karst had pointed this out, and I absolutely agree. And, like, the ideal scenario is you have to make phobies and game pieces that force your opponent to make decisions, right? Like, that's how you have interactivity in the game, is I do something that makes you have to make a choice, and then you do something that makes me have to make a choice, and we go back and forth, and each time we make decisions, those branching decision trees ultimately come back around to somebody wins or loses the game. And then you can go back and go, oh, well, if I did this, then you would have changed these decisions, and maybe, you know, like, that's the fun part of the game, right? With that as the baseline, you would think disease is non-interactive, but that isn't necessarily true, because as we're seeing here, you could heal your dude. Your other option is to, okay, I need to go on the offensive, or I pull back and, like, the disease damage is annoying, but low enough that I could maintain this phobia with Clinico and then bide my time for a better situation. The problem with that is, if the damage is, I think the band for where disease is a healthy game mechanic, and we're not doing puns right now, but the band for which disease is a healthy game mechanic, I think is very, very narrow. Because if you make it too high, your opponent is forced into going in the offensive. That's not a choice. It's not a dilemma. It's, you do this or you're fucked. Or you might be fucked anyway. There's no two ways about it, kind of thing. Because you just lose your dude. If it's too low as to be negligible, then it's negligible and it doesn't matter. Which is also not good. Because, duh, right? So, I think the band for it to be good is just really, it's a very difficult needle to thread. Also, yeah, what the hell is bad guy doing with this cupcake? That cupcake is getting very stale. It's growing fungus at this point. It's gross. The rodents have claimed it. Why did bad guy... Like, what are we doing? Bad guy was absolutely asleep at the wheel. Holy crap. GG. You got him. What's your favorite phobia? My favorite is ice cream. Right now it's blue, I think. I usually say noxious because it's the random thoughts colors. Or at least the closest phobia to the random thoughts colors. But I'm going to go with blue. Just because I feel like it. Blue amuses me. But yeah, just to finish up the topic, so I don't inherently have a problem with disease, but there needs to be every game mechanic, every game piece in Phobies needs to have multiple responses to how you could address it. It's like, oh, well, I could put the counter phobia, or I could manipulate these 3 phobies because I'm out of keys or I'm locked, I'm maxed out or whatever, in order to cobble together some sort of defense. And if you're forced into a singular response, it's bad both from, it's less fun gameplay wise because it's like, well, this is, I have to play this way. And nobody likes being told that. It's also bad because of the way the game's economy works. Hey, we're coming back to the economy being bad. Because of the way the economy works, you just may literally not have access to the tools to fight it. So you have to have a strategic response, not a ownership response to a particular problem. So with that topic out of the way, welcome back, Big She. Set could win in turn 18. He gave the game on purpose. Anyway, I'm planning on coming back with some kittens. Hi, Mr. Chomps. Welcome back, Big She. It's good to have you back. Hopefully this new patch will encourage people to come back to the game. A number of people have given it up for a variety of reasons. What does that have to do with anything, Atona? What are we talking about here? Also, turn 1, Billy. Wait, what? My bad. I was thinking about the post-balance patch for a second. I was thinking about the post-balance patch for a second, got confused. We're okay now. So we got to keep in mind turn 18 for this game. Chad, I got gifted some hot sauce a while back, and I finally got to use it. And I've never had scorpion pepper hot sauce before. I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't know if it actually is a thing or they just made it up, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Had a little bit of kick to it. A little bit. As one might imagine something named Scorpion Hot Sauce. They were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle branded hot sauce bottles that were like this big. This doesn't mean anything to you when I'm holding up my fingers like this, but like they were little bitty bottles. Scorpion pepper is a real thing? Okay. I didn't look it up. This was a couple hours ago, a few hours ago, so like... I had to like scarf some food into do the third stream of the day, so like I didn't have time to check it. It's one of those things I looked at and I'm like, it would not surprise me if this was a legitimate thing. But I had never heard of it prior. It was in a little like sampler set of hot sauces that were all turtle branded. They've been sitting around forever, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? My wife took one out, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Brony to counter the Mildred. I don't love the position Big She's in. Now, Big She is the Mildred expert. Ooh. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. Kablamo. This does eliminate the cat. Does Brony have a 1 or 2 turn warm-up? It's a 1 turn warm-up, so like this could be a really dangerous Brony. Yeah, you gotta go for this, I think. This turns off Big She's entire team. which Big She obviously knew and was trying to plan for. I don't know if I love foul as the response, but it is an air quotes clean way to remove the brony. Flesh crawler, huh? I don't know about that. I don't know. 4-to-1 panic point advantage. That is a lot of panic points, and I feel like you don't want Boomer here. The reason being is, I mean, if you're going to put a 1 key on the board, I say this a lot, but you need something interactive here, especially since most of your team was turned off thanks to Brony. Oh, you got AoE. I got AoE too. You got jokes. You got tentacles into bees. Bees with tentacles. That would be horrible, right? Here's the thing. I mentioned a while ago that I've been watching a lot more, like, independent zombie movies. Like, YouTube has a ton of random-ass zombie movies. Like, that's not true. I like when boomers use sometimes. It is rare. I will admit it's rare. But, every time it shows up, it's just like, you could have been better off with something else. But anyway, so, the reason I bring up the zombie movies and bees with tentacles is, like, a lot of these things kind of hand wave, oh, well, animals can't get turned into zombies. Why? Well, the disease is so deadly that it can only infect humans. It's like, there are a lot of animals that are bigger than fucking humans. Like, what if there were zombie elephants? Like, that would be bad, right? It's kind of like if you watch Primal, the one episode with the zombie dinosaurs. Spoiler alert. It's the whole episode, so, like, it's not really a spoiler. Zombie sharks would be pretty fucked up. Well, the thing is that those are not, that's not what I'm worried about. Imagine zombie mosquitoes. Imagine a zombie mosquito. In fact, in World War Z, no, it was, Zombie Survival. There was some zombie book anthology I remember where, like, I think birds were zombified or something. We're coming up on the turn, so we got to start paying attention. But the bottom line is, like, if animals could be infected with these diseases and things, it would be catastrophic. That's why I was thinking bees with tentacles. Like, what if they're, like, Cthulhu comes back, or, like, one of the Cthulhu eldritch gods shows up, and it's like, yeah, we're just going to turn every animal on Earth into a hellish monster. And they start with insects. Like, that's awful. Those are weird fungal spider zombies. Well, it's not just spiders. Like, the cordyceps fungus is a real thing. Like, the whole Last of Us storyline, hypothetically, that's possible, I think. I'm not a biologist. But, like, there are reasons that it can't exist today, but, like, the plausibility of, oh, well, if this fungus somehow evolved to be able to do this, which is like, well, what if we had a square with 12 sides? Like, these are things that can't happen, as I understand it. And again, I'm not a biologist, so. But the idea is that, like, yeah, there are funguses. Like, the world of fungus and insects is brutal. Like, absolutely brutal. All right. So here's the game. The game is on the line here. Big She has managed to somewhat stabilize. 705 heart damage. 1,100 damage on the heart. What I'm assuming the line here is that the puff... No, the puff can't reach. I was going to say the puff bombs and hits the heart. Tentacles is up, but tentacles can't reach. Raucous. Do I have a favorite fungal infection? No. I have not ranked them. How many subs should I require for that tier list? So how can Set end the game here? Does Set manage to, like, clear the board here so that tentacles can get in? Why Raucous? I have no idea. Like, that doesn't make any sense either. Okay, we're going back to the beginning of this turn. Because Big She says that Set can win this turn. Obviously, Big She goes on to win this game. The only thing... So you can't... Hold on, where's my Telestrator? I gotta install... There's now a plugin to do this, so I don't have to jump through hoops. Alright, so Puff can only move 2, so Puff can get here. Because I was originally thinking, oh, you Blom here, hit the heart, and then whatever the damage is, panic points. But that doesn't work, because you can't hit it. Obviously, Raucous is not getting there, right? And Tentacles, if you go here, it's 1, 2. So, like, what am I missing? Is the plan... Because we're at... How much hard health is left? If you just go stand on panic points... Like, you can't get this top panic point, the one that's up here. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could block this off. You could put Raucous here. And then you keep Puff down here. Maybe you thought Puff could reach. That's what I'm thinking. Because that was my first thought, too. Is, oh, well, Puff just goes and gets the Murder Wing, but you can't. The alternative is if you block off these 3 panic points, maybe it's possible that Big She can't kill you, but Mildred's live, so there's no way that you're not going to be able to kill whatever's on the center panic point. So to be honest, Big She, you're going to have to educate me, because I don't see how... Would this even have been enough damage? 411? Yeah, it's 100% the Puff. It's got to be the Puff, because this is 400 damage plus the 705. So 1,100 and change. I'm not going to count it, but I'm going to assume that that's close enough. It's got to be. So I think the answer as to why didn't Set the Boss win the game on turn 18 is they couldn't. I think that's the answer. And I'm open to being wrong. Like, maybe somebody else knows a line that I didn't see, but... Yeah, now we're in operation, just don't let them anywhere near the heart. Literally just body block them out. That's all you gotta do, kind of thing. Maybe not all you have to do, but that is a significant chunk. Tentacles! Doesn't kill a damn thing. Could have had the Blom there if you didn't use it on the previous turn. Which, I mean, you maybe wouldn't have gotten to this turn if you didn't do that, but you know, whatever. Details. Haffy is powered up. He's unhappy about his current state of existence. Slap. Boop. I love the look on Puff's face when he gets hit. It's actually pretty funny. You know, I kind of want to put foul on the thumbnail and say that it's Thanksgiving in July on the thumbnail. Just to mess with people and see what happens. I think it would be very funny. I think people would lose their minds. They would just be so confused. The joke would drop off very quickly because, like, timing, but, you know. You know, the only thing that I didn't like about that hot sauce, it had like a sweet twinge to it, for lack, like, I guess that would be the word. Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, never mind. Okay. And you use the bomb. Yeah, never mind. I thought they could have won right there, too. And I'm like, wait a second. Well played. Well played, Big She. Managed to claw that one back. GG. All right, chat. I need to take a quick break. We'll be back. There's only a couple more games. Literally 2 more games. And then we'll call it an evening. Be right back. Don't go away. All right, chat. We're back. All right, so... let's see what we got here. Dear H. No notes for either of these games. All right, Dear H, back at it on Chapeltown. No notes. We'll see what we got in this game. Jammy Fish. That is a phobie you can play. Of all the phobies, it's definitely one of them. Oh, man, chat. I got a big tournament next weekend. I'm not prepared. I mean, I am, but, like... I don't know. The problem is, so the deck I was playing was a known quantity, but it was not popular enough for people to really justify preparing for it. It did perform very, very well at a much larger tournament this weekend. And a lot of people, including one of the biggest teams, did very well with it. So I really expect the knives to come out, and now I need to audible to another deck, or think about audibling to another deck 4 days before a tournament. When I've basically been playing only that deck for the last 2 months. Boom! I haven't seen a boom setup that easy in a long time. Like, what just happened? Phantom. I don't know. What do you think, Chad? Do you think Phantom is going to drop off the face of the earth as post-balance changes? I kind of feel like it is. I mentioned it in the video, but I wonder if there's a way to get it to be... so that you can... like, Phantom is common flinging Cerberus, but it is not for pulling anything else. And I think the game theory end of that train of thought is always going to be, well, they're going to drop Hevo 3.0 on your head, and you're going to be cooked. Waffalo will. Yeah, why not? Oh, man. Sorry, Obs is being weird. I was checking something. Do we get a Zappy coming out for quite literally no apparent reason? Why is there a Zappy? To counter the Rusty? What are we doing? Is the Zappy there so that you can give it to your opponent to Waffalo Will so they can kill your fucking Hevo? What is this? What is happening? I'm legitimately upset about this. What is going on? Did bad guy have a stroke? How did you not see this coming? Yeah, you can also give it to your opponent so it can fucking kill your Evo. Yeah, like, what are we doing? I really hope this was an async game. I didn't look. But I really hope this was an async game. And bad guy submitted their turn. Goes away. Comes back a few hours later. dearh submitted the turn. Like, oh, great, the game's... And they just went, oh. Oh, no. No. No! Like, I really just want them to have a cartoonishly ridiculous... No! Like they're falling off a cliff. Like it's Looney Tunes or something. Like what? How did that even happen? That is the most unhinged game of the week. There's nothing. I don't care that Fortute has another game. Certainly none of the previous ones beat this. I don't know that you have enough damage to just kill them. I guess it's not impossible. I guess you do. You do have a 5-to-1 panic point advantage. Bad guy just like... You want to talk about punts. That's like firing it out of a goddamn cannon. Let's get this game the hell out of here. The Rusty. Plaid, because why the hell not? Bad guy. Get wrecked. I don't know what to say about that one that hasn't already been said. That is just... Dude, the game's gonna end before you give the Zappy back. That's crazy. Like, that is absolutely wild. Why are we healing the snowball? What difference does it make? What are we doing? Oh, dearh, you don't have to do this. Why are we doing this? Put them out of their misery. There it is. GG. Wow. Of all the plays you can make, giving your opponent a Zappy to kill your own Hevo is a play. It's a thing that can be done. All right, no notes on this game. We're on the once lore, so I already know that it's going to be bad. This map is terrible. I do find it interesting that the devs did acknowledge that it's like, oh, well, the community absolutely hates this map. The feedback is always terrible. I guess we'll finally remove it. I wonder if we'll ever get that with the once lore, because this was once a good map. When? When was it a good map? This was Miss Chaw's map. Bees! I'm pretty sure. And, like, I don't love it. This definitely is a sadist's map. Like, you make this map because you hate people and you want them to suffer when there weren't so many pullers. I feel like most people had some. Like, it definitely came out before the mass Akira era. Once Akira hit it, it was just like, okay, no, this map has got to go. But I think even when it first released, there were, like, who had a tractor and who didn't. Like, if you had a tractor, it was like, really fucking hard to lose. I don't think you can have Phobies without positional displacement abilities. It goes in the category, like we were talking about disease earlier. It absolutely is an ability that is difficult to, like, on its surface, it's, oh, well, I can't do anything about it. My opponent just gets to push or pull me. But you can then position around it, which is the ideal thing. It's like, okay, well, there is counterplay. But it does go hand in hand with the map design where, to a degree, I mean, I think this is your point for Tutai, like, if pullers and pushers exist, this map is going to be bad because it will always boil down to that. You just can't have anything else. Unless there's some new mechanic that gets introduced where, like, you have flyers that have stasis or something, or you have ways to fill in the abyss tiles, which again goes back to the idea that it's pick counter pick, and you just have to have certain things in order for you to be able to compete. I don't see how else you could change this map. Like, just the way it's laid out, this is how the game functions. Oh, thank God we're in a standoff. Ash! What? What are we doing? This is why this map sucks. Admittedly, this game is only 23 turns, so it's not that long. But you have to... I wonder how turtley would this map be? Oh my God. 95 pulls later. You do still kind of need to kill this tractor, which I guess you can. Oh my God. The brutality. Bad guy still with 17 keys. I wonder what this map would look like if displacement just literally didn't exist. Would it be super turtley? Bad guy, you got to admit at this point, and this is why this game could have ended right now. If I was in bad guy's position, you surrender. You obviously don't have Akira yourself. You lost your attractor. You might have Moffat. I love Eternal Range Akira. I hate it. I don't inherently hate the idea of global phobies. But I understand why people don't like them, and where it does invalidate the whole positional thing. I don't know. I don't like Akira as a phobie. I do think that Karst has a point that people don't, and he hasn't said this, at least not in so many words, but a lot of people don't play phobies properly because they're not necessarily good enough. So, like, and we're not talking obvious mistakes like what we just saw. Like, literally right now. We're talking, like, they're not aggressive enough when they can be. Like, they could go for a hard push. They could go to snipe something because your opponent just can't react tempo-wise. They make the wrong choice on phobie selection just because they want to use something when they shouldn't. You know, whatever. And as a result, there isn't a great look at a lot of phobies. So, like, the Akira nerf that came down ended up being sufficient. But there's always the lingering thing in the back of my head of, like, are any of these changes good enough? Because there's no reason to be good at phobies. I know that sounds weird, but, like, there's no incentive to be the best phobie player. Like, hitting Sum of All Fears 3 is effectively meaningless. Bad guy just getting picked apart, obviously. I don't think the Akira nerf was enough. Akira doesn't show up with the regularity that it used to. And I'd like to believe that it's punishable. The problem is, I think a lot of the... like, let's say this balance patch is actually enough. The other way to balance stuff that has not really been touched is the maps. And I think that a lot of the map design allows for turtley strategies to fester. And then you need things like Akira to break the turtle. So I think configuring the maps so that there is always an aggressive option. Like, I've said this before, that I think panic points didn't exist in Phobies 0.1. And they were added because the devs realized, oh shit, everybody just stares at each other. I don't get why they don't remove or change maps at all. We've been playing the same maps forever. I mean, they keep adding maps. There's like 70 maps. There's a lot of maps. So it's not like we don't have variety. It's just that well, the rotations are not good. We do get a lot of maps commonly back in rotation for no fucking reason. But are these games from followers? Yes. So they're submitted through my Discord, and we go through them every Sunday. The issue with the maps is the rotation, like I said, among other issues. But we do have a ton of maps. It's like year 3. I played today after a long while and got that blue small map with 2 stim pads. I don't know which one that is. I mean, there's a lot. That doesn't describe anything. This one, Billy's room. I think it's good to have evergreen stuff like that. Like, I think that's fine. And I think that if they had every map in rotation, that would be an issue. I wonder if they should do rotations as blocks. So, like, let's say Billy's room and Pluto are attached. And there's what, 7 maps? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 maps each rotation, right? Why it's 9 and not 10, I don't know. But, like, so let's say that there are 73 maps. I don't know if there are 73. Or 72 maps, rather. So that's divisible by 9. And that it's sets 1 through 7. So this week is set 1. And set 1 is always the same 9 maps. Because they, quote-unquote, pair well together. I'm just thinking, like, other games that do map rotations and seasonal rotations. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but, like, there are maps that just need to go and be retired. I don't think that... like, the Once lore is a map that will never change play pattern-wise because it's always going to be about the same thing it's always going to be about. And there's no changing that. The things that would be required for it to change would have to be so fucking dramatic that I just don't see it ever happening. But I don't know. Anyway, chat, that's going to do it for tonight for viewer games for Phobies. Might hang out for a little bit, play some other stuff. But I appreciate everybody coming out. If you're interested in submitting your own games, you can, of course, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. But that's going to do it for now. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.